starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Hi everybody, and welcome back to the Crypto Night Show. Your host Superman in the house. Woohoo! Yeah, boy. Hey, look, things are going to be very different tomorrow, and you'll find out why tomorrow. So you'll check things out, then come back and get on and watch the show. And speaking of the shows, don't forget to share it on X. I'm going to post the link there in the chat. And post it out there. We had a bit of a day off yesterday, doing a few chores and things, so kind of cool. But we're back today, 8 p.m. Eastern, looking good there. Midday in New Zealand time, 10 a.m. I think in the morning Australian time. So not too bad. And don't forget to share the show on X. So we're covering a bit of everything today. Obviously, we're going to cover the Genius Act got signed off by Trump, and we're going to hear from Scott Besson on that. We're going to have a personal call into the White House. And then we're going to check out the stock market, crypto markets, PulseChain. We're going to get into a bit of tight necks, and of course Torus. They're hot, and and Pulse Bitcoin. We're going to check out Pulse Bitcoin along with the rest of the Bitcoins on the old PulseChain and Ethereum. So it's going to be a lot of fun as well. See how Bitcoin themes are going. There's a lot of Bitcoin around. Everyone loves Bitcoin. Okay, enough of that. We got Sean in the house there. It's a good day to be in Pulse up and away. Hey, look, you're front running my show, Sean. You're front running my show. We're going to be talking about the bridge today. We've got the exclusive bridge coverage. I've got the latest and greatest on the bridge. You guys are going to be very happy. And Sean's kind of giving it away a little bit. But Pulse is on the uppity. That's pretty much it. So nice one there, Sean. Nice one indeed. Crowd goes wild. Yeah. Pretty awesome. All right, so let's get into it. We've got a big show today, and we're going to kick it off, of course, with the stock market. So let's do that. This is the last day of the week for stock market on Friday. So let's get into the mood here. Well, actually, I'm not even sharing the show here. What's going on? What's this amateur hour? Is this amateur hour here? So let's get into it. Bam, there we go. All right, behind the scenes exclusive there with the old Crypto Night Show. Just the way it goes sometimes. All right, so let's get into the market. So we got S&P 500 ends flat on fresh trade wars. So S&P 500 ends flat on fresh trade wars. Of course, we knew that July was going to be volatile with the trade issues, right? Trying to settle it by the 1st of August. So no surprises there. We're currently, the 18th, 19th of July, depending on where you are in the world. Dow Jones at the moment down to 30%, 142 points to 44,342. S&P 500 is down. S&P 500 is flat today at 6,296 on Friday, and then Nasdaq was just up a tad at 10 points to 20,895. So market's not too bad, and it's nice to have a bit of a breather on the way up to the moon, right? So it's good to have a breather on the way up into the moon. A little bit of volatility helps with the markets as we push higher. Trade war fears heat up as Trump eyes a 15 to 20% tariffs on the EU. The 15-20% levy that the president is considering to impose on EU imports, even if a deal is reached, would be above the 10% rate that the EU is hoping for, suggesting negotiations may have stalled. They were kind of going well, the last update I heard, so obviously a little bit more pressure there going to get the Europeans over the line on some issues, no doubt. With the August the 1st tariff deadline looming, now Trump is very keen to get everything settled with all the big countries by 1st of August. But if there's any laggards, if there's one laggard or two laggards, he might just let those roll over into a longer deadline, as long as he gets most of his reorganization and trade done. Obviously, we've had earnings season at the moment in the old stock market. So that was pretty cool. We've had a lot of banks, and now, of course, we've got American Express, 3M, and others as well. And that's pretty much it. Mexican sentiment index improves as inflation expectations cool as well. So the University of Michigan's guide on consumer sentiment, remember that the United States is the big consumer of the world, climbed to a reading of 61.8, beating estimates of 61.5 as inflation expectations cooled. 1 year inflation expectations slowed to 4.4% from 5%. And of course, retail figures were also stronger than anticipated, and weekly jobless claims came in below forecasts. Trump economy looking pretty good, even as he's had to do all these tough moves for the first 6 months. Federal Reserve has largely adopted a wait-and-see attitude, because we think there's quite a bit of gaming going on there. A rate cut as soon as the central bank next meeting next month is justified. We're looking at September, right? And we'll talk more about that. So that's really where we are at the moment with the old stock market. And that leads us into crypto. So let's talk about that. Crypto. We've got, at the moment, the total market cap at 3.913 trillion, which is down 4.7%. And that's based on 17,681 coins here on CoinGecko. And just moving things around a little bit here. And we got Bitcoin at the moment at this is at $117,900, down 1.1% after hitting 120 last night when I was before I tuned in. We got Ethereum there at the moment at up 2% at 3,537. That's been the kind of the exciting news story, really, hasn't it? Is the old crypto there. We were yesterday when Ethereum was at over 2,650. We're at $2,650. We were only $20 million below the Magic Carpet Ride money for the PulseChain sacrifice reserve. That is hyper bullish, guys. Hyper bullish. So that's kind of cool there. XRP at the moment is down 2.4%, $3.40, and BNB at number 5 is down 1.2% at $725. Just having a quick look, see everything is going okay. That's going okay. So yeah, we got Solana there at number 6, up 0.7% at $177. We got number 8 is Doge, up 8.2% at 23 cents. And then we've got Tron at number 10, up 3.2% at 32.5 cents. So Tron having a nice time there as well. And then below that, we've got Cardano and Wrap Bitcoin, Wrap Staked ETH as well. They've all surpassed Hyperliquid. Remember, Hyperliquid was sitting at number 12, but all the Ethereum runs and Bitcoin runs have pushed those ones higher. So there we go. Best performer in the last 24 hours has been Doge, up 8.2%. Best performer in the last week has been XRP, up 26%, but followed pretty closely by Ethereum, right, up 20%. So bring on Ethereum move. And of course, we got the Genius Act, right? The big benefit from that is going to be from the stablecoin. So let's watch the United States President Donald J. Trump sign the Genius Act in the White House. Pretty exciting.
Hello, fellas. You got it? This is not an auto pen, by the way, which is a big scandal. If that were a Republican, it would really be a big scandal. But it is one of the great scandals of our time. Thank you very much, everybody.
So, I mean, that is huge, guys. I mean, they even did a whole signing ceremony for it. This is a big deal. It is huge. It's definitely one of the big pieces of legislation. Another massive win for Trump, but a massive win for crypto. So let's hear from Secretary Scott Bessent, Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent, on the implications. So kind of cool. Let's get into that.
Today marks a seminal moment for digital assets and global dollar dominance, with
Welcome,
President
Brendan,
Trump
to the chat.
signing
Howdy,
the
super.
Genius Act into law. This bill provides the fast-growing stablecoin market with the regulatory clarity it needs to grow into a trillion-dollar industry. Stablecoins represent a revolution in digital finance. The dollar now has an internet-native payment rail that is fast, frictionless, and free of middlemen. This groundbreaking technology will buttress the dollar status as a global reserve currency, expand access to the dollar economy for billions across the globe, and lead to a surge in demand for U.S. treasuries, which back stablecoins. The Genius Act is a win-win-win for everyone involved: stablecoin users, stablecoin issuers, and the U.S. Treasury Department. I want to thank President Trump for his visionary leadership in shepherding this bill into law and Congress for rapidly advancing this critical legislation. By expanding financial freedom and reinforcing dollar dominance, stablecoins will play a critical role in making America great.
I cannot understate that. I think he summed it up extremely well. This is massive, guys. It's absolutely massive for crypto. This is unbelievably massive for crypto. It is going to be incredible. It's honestly talking about multi-trillions of dollars coming into crypto. The stablecoin market at the moment is about, last time I checked, about $250 billion. So let's have a quick look at the categories. We can go quickly check that on CoinGecko. So let's go check that out at the moment. So here's a look. So at the moment, the market cap is sitting at $266 billion. And we're talking about turning that into trillions of dollars, guys. Trillions of dollars. It's going to be absolutely amazing. The leverage on those stable coins is going to be huge. Using them as a payment system is going to be massive. And of course, we're going to have all the CeFi entities are going to enter. So we're going to have a lot of the banks enter, a lot of the non-banks, which have been taken over by quite a bit of TradeFi, including the centralized exchanges. Circle, of course, Tether, these are going to ramp up in big time. A lot of demand's going to come onto those. And of course, that's going to boost the whole crypto market valuation. We're currently at we have 3.9 trillion. We're talking about moving 10, 20, $30 trillion. We're really going to go beyond that, probably 40 trillion. It is a massive, massive upside to this. So very, very exciting. And all the DeFi applications that are not only taking in the main coins from the chains, but also the stable coins are just going to get even bigger. Now, that may also mean, of course, for some of the more conservative plays, lower rates, but we're going to see how that all plays as capital floods into the markets. So it's super exciting, guys. Super exciting. Cannot understate that enough. Of course, it's massive for the US dollar, just strengthening as the strategic reserve currency, and just a boom all around. And I guess to a big degree, boom for freedom as well. I guess some of the one of the reasons why XRP is up so much this week is because it does payment systems, right? And the other thing, of course, is a lot of the banks were using the old SWIFT system. You pay $20-$25 and you get a transfer to one bank to another bank through the interbank system. But it's like, it's archaic, and we've been in crypto. It's super fast, generally speaking. And, this is the way of the future. So there's lots of big wins there. We're probably going to see lots of partnerships between, DeFi and CeFi and TradeFi going on here in the year or 2 years ahead of us here. Big welcome to Brennan, of course. Luna C Point. Hey, gang, I never catch a live. Great to see you, Luna C Point. Welcome to the live. Always a pleasure to see people that aren't able to make it. Hexfader and House there. Hey, gang, good to see Hexfader. Big shout out to you. To the moon, baby. To the moon. Yeah. This is really altcoin season has begun. If we get an interest rate cut, it's just going to be insane. Cheap money means risk on. And we already know that they're record printing money at the moment. And we're about to enter the golden age of America, which has already really begun. So it's going to be huge. Brennan says, send it. Yeah, definitely send it. We win. We win indeed. We keep winning. And there with President Trump. Even one of the big billionaires that was against Trump has now turned in his favor and said Trump, he was wrong and Trump was right. And everything is heading the right direction. He also made an interesting comment there. He felt that people had a better step in the air. They had a bit of a bounce. We were under the Democrats and their little demonic little regime. It brings the oppression of the demons. But when we're under the light, things get a lot better. And freedom is a big part of that. Prosperity, of course, and a vision, right? A vision. And someone that does what they say they're going to do, generally speaking. Now, no one's perfect, of course, so I'm not talking about perfection, but we're talking about heading in the right direction. That was a cool song. Could make a song out of that. One Direction. Okay, enough of that. Let's get into it. We got a couple more comments to make about this, so let's jump over to the hashtag. We got top gainers. We've got Chainbase, Epic Chain, and Corn. So they're kind of doing quite well. Let's quickly have a quick look at those. Chainbase at number 760. It's been around since the 15th of July this year, so not too long. And it's made a little bit of a bounce and pull back. But yeah, that's on the old base chain from the looks of it. So yep. And if they've got a website, they have Chainbase. So let's have a look. Chainbase. the hyper data network for AI and DataFi. There we go. So you can check that out. That is just got released. Let's keep looking at it. Number 760. It's not too bad position there in the market. Let's jump over to the next one. We've got Epic Chain. That's up 91%. That's sitting, not too bad. $2.34. Been around since March the 13th, so a couple of months now. Came off the bottom, had obviously pulled down to 77 cents. Now at $2.34, so must have had some news come out, no doubt. And that is on Ethereum. So look at Epic Chain, revolutionizing real world asset tokenization. Now, obviously, this is still a big, giant area in crypto, and it's going to be supercharged now, of course, with stable coins and the rest of it. So, first, an RWA-focused EVM-compatible Layer 2 on Optimism. Epic Chain transforms real-world assets and global franchises into blockchain narrative experiences. So, I must have had some big announcements there around that. For it's just pumped. All right, so let's jump over to our third and final on the top gainers. We got Corn. Corn up 67%. Sitting at number 961, so it's quite far down the pack. Obviously, just dumped into the top 1,000. It's been around since March the 28th this year as well, so not too long, couple months. It's come off the bottom at 2.4 cents and now is at 6.2 cents. It is on, I'm not sure what that chain is with the old orange there, but it is, let's see here. Corn is a novel blockchain network built on Arbitrum. Okay, it's Arbitrum there. As the network. So that is ticking away. They have a website. Let's have a look. Use Corn. Is it usecorn.com? And there we go. Start earning straight away. Scroll. Earn yield on your Bitcoin, etc. So there we go. A bit of fun there on the old sun. Might want to check that out and see due diligence, a lot of good stuff. So those are the top gainers today. In terms of trending, we've got pump.fun. I was on pump.fun yesterday. Did a couple of little short videos. You can just basically, anyone can jump on, anybody. You can make your own coin, anybody. It's you can get on there, make your own coin, sit there without any t-shirt on. There's heaps of those people. I don't know what it is, but they're hot. Is it hot in some? Maybe it's up in the Northern Hemisphere. Everyone's so damn hot. It's but there's heaps of half naked people on there just talking about who knows what. That's on pump.fun. It's a little bit, it's like a minimum viable product. It needs a bit of work on the user interface, and it's got too many controls. There's far too many controls over moderation. So it's a bit of a, I think it's a bit of a mixed bag, but it's early days. We'll see how it goes. Pump.fun. And of course, we've got Black Hole there at number 2 and Caldera there at number 3 on the trending. So that's crypto market today. $3.9 trillion, down 4.3% overall, 17,682. But Bitcoin really is the one we're watching along with Ethereum. And Bitcoin there is holding up pretty well, 118,000. But Ethereum, of course, doing some nice moves higher, $3,552. And as you guys know, that means that we're getting closer and closer to the magic carpet ride break even for PulseChain, which is a good segue into it. Hexagrader says, America, hell yeah. Hell yeah on America. That's true. All right, so let's have a look at, do you guys want green candles? We got green candles, so that's kind of cool. Green candle day today, day 798 on PulseChain since the initial launch on the 3rd of May 2023. Why do I always repeat the date? Well, because we might get new people that listen, right? Get new people that listen, and it gives them a bit of context. All right. All right, let's jump over to the comments here. Just about hit the old intro there again. Let me jump back here. All right. So we've got Pulse at the moment, quadruple 03. So we're at that 3,000 mark, kind of a key battle line, isn't it? That 3,000. When I say 3,000, I'm losing the 4 zeros. We've got 4 zeros, 3,000. We're at 30% of mean sacrifice price. So still super cheap on PulseChain. No difference. Still accumulation. And here we are at day 798. Of course, PulseChain has been had to deal with the SEC since only a couple of months after it launched. And so it's only just got free from that in the last couple of weeks. But we always know that typically speaking, we don't get the true rally until probably a week, if not 6 weeks later, after we get free, right? It's typically something like that might happen. And that has been no different here. We've had a big whale selling out. I think their bags were like 11, 12 million, if I remember rightly. They definitely sold out. I think maybe 8 million, is it 8.5 million, something like that, after slippage and all the rest of it. But that is where we are. PulseX at the moment, quadruple 0233. So we had a little relief rally after the whale sell, and also ETH pumped, right? So we had both those events pretty much at the same time. PulseX at the moment, quadruple 0233, up 11.1%. Nice to see a double digit there. And the buy and burn has gone up quite nicely. The last time I streamed 2 days ago, it was at 7.4. We're now at 7.43%. So that's a really nice little boost there. Incentive token $1.55, up 7.4% at the moment. And Hex on PulseChain, obviously getting slammed by the whale. First, PulseX got slammed by the whale as it was moving into Pulse, and then Hex got slammed into it as well. And of course, it had to absorb that too. And the whale was pretty consistent. They would move their stuff from their parent address into the daughter address and the dumper address, and just dump within 24 hours. And they did that every single time. So they were consistent at least. And then they bridged over the wrap pulse and they sell it over on the Ethereum there. So it was a double whammy on Hex, whammy on Pulse, and then we've just had a relief rally on that. So here we are at just under 61/100th of a penny for Hex. We had a nice little rally up to about 62, 63 yesterday, and I'm expecting a multi-day rally on Hex, to be honest. And so yeah, we'll check out the chart later. We got EHEX at the moment, 18/100th of a penny. A nice little pickup on EHEX right now. And maybe you can't be wrong with that now that the whales, assuming we've got no other whales that are really to do the same thing. And obviously the whale was probably moving just because of the theme around stablecoins and ETH, right? So ETH being one of the key beneficiaries through Circle, right, on the old stablecoin move. And following the majors there, that's probably what they did. So that's kind of where we are there at the moment. And the selling at the bottom of where PulseChain, not the bottom, but close, the bottom range that we've been trading for some time. All right, so let's jump over to gas prices. We've got 1.4 million beats at the moment, 2 cents for a PulseX swap. We've got validators at the moment, 52,000, pretty similar, up a little bit there. And the bridge, of course, is at 92.6 million. So this is great news because it was 2 days ago, I think we were sitting at 86. So we're at 92 now. So we'll take that. That's another $6 million. Obviously, Ethereum going up there has made a major contribution. And of course, we probably had a bit more stablecoin and stuff like that. I do have a snapshot from some time ago. Let's have a look at what date that is. The 3rd. It's my old 3rd. I thought I should have had a new one. Do I have a new one? I thought I had a new one here, but alas, I do not. Let's have a look at the 3rd, though, even though it's a bit old now. But it's quite old now. What's that? Over a month, like 6 weeks ago, we were at 81.6. So we've come up a long way. We've come up, 11 million dollars, something like that, since 6 weeks ago. So that's kind of cool news. So yeah, we're sitting pretty not too bad there. What else? I think that's pretty much it. Let's jump over to the bridge. Let's put on the bridge there. This is the bridge, and this is the good news. So not only are we going to talk about the prices being good news, but the bridge is great news. Can you see the good news? Look at that. Look at this. This here. Woohoo! Look at that. We've come all the way. We were down at 3.3 million negative, and this was only like a couple of days ago. And now we are all the way down at only 1.7 negative. That's so good, guys. That is really terrific. Look at that. So we're rounding over. It's rolling over. It's negative. It's a negative roll, but we're rolling over into the positive, and that's great. So we want to see that yellow area flip to the positive. You can sort of see back here. We were only briefly positive in the last last like 5.5 weeks or something. We've only for a blip do we have a little positive inflows. We've been negative all this time. These are timestamp values, so they're not based on dynamic prices, not always moving around, just the prices that they were at the time. But you can see we've had lots of green candles coming in over the last 24 hours and beyond, right? Last couple of days, actually. But we did have a little bit of negative out stuff from the whales and related whales. Obviously, it was sending pulse, so this bridge doesn't take pulse. It's not a really wrapped pulse we're saying here. This is stablecoins and wrapped ETH primarily. So it's not really reflecting the whale movements and the wrap pulse out of the bridge. But this is the numbers here. So really positive stuff here. Really cool. So we're only down negative 1.6. We're heading in the right direction, and this is all good. So may it continue in the week ahead, over the weekend, into the week ahead. So we'll keep a track of that. And man, if we can, maybe what day is it now? So if we can maybe Tuesday, Wednesday, get back to zero, that would be great, guys. That would be so great. Obviously, we've got the stable coins on PulseChain, so they can buy up stuff, this and that. So but this is generally good news, and we finally got a better low or higher low. That's the way on the negatives. So that is pretty cool news. So we're up about $11 million from about 6 weeks ago, 5.5 weeks ago. We're up on the bridge and heading in the right direction, and that's all going to add to the weight of the stable coins that are already over here, and of course getting more capital coming in terms of volume. That is bullish, and so we'll keep a track of that hopefully over the next few days, and we'll get that reversal, the big reversal, and then maybe get game on leading into August, right? That'd be pretty nice, and maybe the trade deals get done and things settle down, and maybe get some action over there. And of course, the Magic Cup ride with ETH, if ETH continues on, getting back up into the $3,773 mark, the average break-even price for the Magic Cup ride money, that 171,000 ETH. That would also be considered, I guess, kind of cool momentum for the PulseChain community. And we're starting to, every metric, all the major metrics are starting to head in the right direction. So fingers crossed over the next week, that continues on that trend. All right, so let's see what the prices did overnight. We got 29.3 million volumes. We also want that to go up over time, right? And we've been stuck down. We had a couple like 26, 28 million days. We've been down at 18 million a couple days. So it's nice to see a little increase in volume and with green candles as well. We got some new tokens floating around 11 hours ago. We got Valentine Grok Camp. That is up 38,800%. I think that's the male one. Is it the male one? But we've got Curve token at the moment, been around 4 months. I think it's a pump tires one, up 274%. We got Teddy Bear, James Samaria making big move, dominating the charts today, up 45%. I think it was also doing pretty well yesterday, along with Hex, of course. Missile for OG Web Chef up 44%. So you can see the top 10 dominated by the Teddy Bear peers. Number 10 is 9mm Exchange. Now, that's what we would reasonably expect, right, as we get positive sentiment and more volume, that the DEXs would start to be repriced. And 9mm is up there at the moment, up 35% at 2.1 cents. We've also got quite a few things going to be launching on 9mm coming up as well. So that's pretty busy as well. I had one top of the head, but I just have forgotten what it was. But that is positive. Let's have a quick look at their volume over there at the moment. They've been doing about 1.2 million. Look at that, double the volume. So remember, they've been doing about 1.2 million down to maybe 800K. And now they're doing 2.4 million, so very quickly, and therefore, reasonably to reprice the DEXs, I guess. We got the 9-inch there as well, 262, so still lagging a bit. Definitely a lot higher volume. They were doing like 100K, 150K, so 262 is definitely a lot higher. But 9mm really showcasing that strength there. What's most of the volume coming from? Well, we've got PulseX and Hex driving quite a bit of it in the mix there. But I think we're getting some more stuff from, I'm just trying to remember who was doing that, but I just can't remember at the top of my head, so I'll just move on. Let's go back into the mix. So yeah, we've got Teddy Bear on the run there. Looking at number 12 is UFO with PDC. So a big shout out to PDC and Emmett Farms. So they just got on, I think, just got on the UFO just got on the Emmett Farm, I think it was. Yeah, so big shout out for that. I think it was with Kairos. What else there? Trump token, the pump tires up 21%. BFF, another OG Web Chef investor, peering there 18% on the increase there. Number 16, PDC the Grey, so UFO PDC moving on the line there. And of course, no surprise there. Really, obviously our first big DAO and doing what it needs to do. Let's go a quick look at the pricing on PDC the Greys. Really starting to break up at this resistance area. What do we got there? Get over 4,800. We're at 4,400 at the moment. It's getting a little hot on the RSI. But let's have a look at the 4 hourly, see what it's got a bit more room. Yeah, it's taking a little bit deep here. So yeah, it might just try and challenge that 4,800 mark. But on the weekly, of course, it's probably got quite a bit of room there. So look. Yeah, heaps of room on the weekly, down at 54, probably like a lot of PulseChain stuff, right? We've got that weekly positioning for the RSI looking pretty good for our rally ahead on the old PulseChain. Not bad. My mouse just died. Now I'm going to have to talk about this chart. PDC the Greys, it's up there. It's up until my mouse recharges. I've had a few problems with the mouse the last couple of days. I don't know if it's just the battery or whether it's just getting tired. Whether it's just getting tired there. We got to top in the house there. What's up? up, Hexkins? Good to see you, Tin Top. We got Fast Abdul as well. I'm here for the tech, he says. Of course, Fast Abdul, the founder of one of the 4 liquidity forks on PulseChain, ink printer there, and of course backed by INC token, isn't it? INC. INC, you know me, says the rapper. INC, you know me. All right, so yeah, we're up doing pretty well, 44.4. And a big shout out to Prairie Banana. He's the big influence out there, covering the old PTC, the Greys. Does a fantastic job, very knowledgeable guy. And if you want to learn all the strategies about PTC, the first DAO token really on PulseChain, and he does an incredible job of showing all the strategies, how to make mad gains with the volume compounding, locking, and all the rest of it. Pop locking on PTC, the Greys. These aliens know how to dance. That's all I can say. These aliens know how to dance. Right, let's see if my mouse has got a little bit of energy in it. Micro powering my mouse. Micro powering. All right, so that's some of the cool stuff happening at the moment. We've got lots in the 20%. Let's scroll down. Top Hat from Crypto Coffee. He's up 14.6%. We've got Communists as well. Good old Communists out there, 13.3%. Probably to be talking about more about Communists in the future, maybe. Keep a lookout for that on the back of Hex, right? So if you had Hex long stakes, it's built in there. So I think it's old yield or pricing mechanisms based on T-shares, right? So it's intricately linked. We've got a whole ton of products or derivatives on Hex that have a lot of mathematics and tokenomics interconnected with the old T-share rate. We should probably do a bit of stuff on that, actually. That's what we're probably going to do. Just like we're going to be talking about Bitcoin today. Bitcoin. We'll do that as well. I don't know why I'm overpronouncing today, but it's funny. Makes me laugh sometimes. We got Hex at the moment, just under 61/100th of a penny. I'm expecting this to continue to rock and roll. Rock and roll, Hex. We're expecting it to make a major move. We got Bullseye at the moment on the move. That's been around for 8 months, up 12%. And what else? PulseX and Hex, they're all up over 10%. We're up to number 34 right now. Treasury Reserve up 11% as well. SolidX Pump Tires is up 11%. We've got Troper in the mix as well. Obviously, James Maria's Teddy Bear is way up here, but a Troper is down a little bit here in the mid-30s. And then we've got Dominance from OG Web Chef, and then Love.al. Got to have a Love.al from good old Anders out there. I don't know. Sometimes Anders, we had a great time with Anders on the show. I'm not. Sometimes I think he's more of a PDC guy than I love the guy. Hey, look, I mean, you can have two loves. As it were, two loves. There we go. It's two loves. You got. But that's pretty much it. And we got Most Wanted at number 42, up 10% as well. And then those are all it. So we've got 42 of the top 100 there, over 10% gain, mad gains. And we like double digits. That's what we like, double digit gains. So pretty cool. But I want to have a look at a deep dive into Hex quickly. So let's go to Hex, because that's really, I think, the big story overnight after the whale did the old dumperoo and took off to Vanuatu, somewhere out in the Pacific. We had a nice little bounce back in the green candles, and it's kind of looking good. This is the weekly candle. This obviously is not my main chart because it's missing my indicators, I think. But let's have a look at the RSI, and we'll pull this up. Bam. So the RSI here at the moment is sitting at 45. So we've got plenty of room to move in the old Hex. Bring it on. It's even lower than the other one we looked at. Was it PDC the Great? It's even lower than that. It was at 54 or something. So we've got lots of room to move. On the daily, we're still only down here at 57. So let's have a multi-day rally. Let's bring that on. What we had back in November, was it? No, May. We had a nice little rally. Are we going to get another repeat of this? Nice. I guess got a little bit of a W filming, is it? So you're going to get something like this. Get that over there. Let's have a look. Let's do some drawing. I got the wrong drawing tool. Let's do some drawing. Where's my... We'll take that. So we're going to get something like, something like this. Bam. Let's make it green. And we've got to fill in the green as well. Make that yellow. Oh, that's nice. That's pretty with the yellow in there. All right. So it's so pretty. I don't know. Is an alpha male allowed to talk about pretty? Yeah. Did I call myself an alpha male? That's funny, man. You can't handle the truth. All right. So there we go. We can get something like that. Bring it on. We got similar room in the RSI. We kind of have. Let's see. We're down here. I guess we're coming off a little bit higher base, but we're actually lower down, right? So let's see what we can do. Let's see if we can get back up to that 1 cent mega move. We got plenty of room on the weekly. So we've got the 4 hourly. 4 hour just cooling off a little bit. Let's see if we can get a little bit of a push higher here as well on the old Hex. That's Hex. We got Super's lost it, says Brennan. Yeah, I thought I'd have a bit of fun today. We're just having a bit of fun today. It's all it goes. We're going to, we're having some fun here. Let's go. All right, let's move on from Hex, but Hex is looking good. Lex is looking hot, and of course the EHEX is looking really good too, isn't it? EHEX. I don't know if I've got it on this on my watch list. Let's go to the watch list. So that is there. Let's go to the hearts here. The hearts here. Best performer is gold PX. Now EHEX making a bit of a move, up 16%. Now EHEX is pretty similar to what it was last night, but EHEX has got a lot of room to move, right? So yeah, I think this is probably going to do some nice stuff as well. You get a bit more volatility with it, I think, but yeah, it's got plenty of room to move on the RSI. And let's look at the weekly on it. BankX is getting much lower. I don't know what they got left. 160 million something. I don't know who's tracking that anymore. But last time the last update I had with BankX was they had 180 million left. What they get 700 million, was it? 700 or 800? 700, something like that. Million from the old Hex Gold. Well, unfortunately. There we go. We got 1800 of a penny at the moment. So RSI is pretty chilled down at 44 as well. Pretty similar to PX there. So expecting these to do quite a nice run there as well. All right, so that is the play. But we're going to zoom in a little bit here on some of the other categories. We're going to go into a good old Bitcoins and have a look at some of the Bitcoins. So if you guys are involved with this, we've got a bit of a mixed bag here. Obviously Bitcoin is obviously hit 123,000 the other day. So it's a pretty much a mega theme. Of course, there's also wrapped Bitcoin over on Ethereum, right? So there's wrapped Bitcoin over on Ethereum, and we have been talking about that. So we got a copy of wrapped Bitcoin bridged over from Ethereum, and there's only a small amount. I think it's about 126,000 Bitcoin that are wrapped, and they're custodial Bitcoin on Ethereum, and you can bridge them into PulseChain, and that's exactly what people have done, right? So they've bridged in wrapped Bitcoin, and you can actually buy wrapped Bitcoin, which the custodial Bitcoin. It's backed by real Bitcoin from the blockchain, from the Bitcoin blockchain, and we've got at the moment it's showing at $118,000 here on Bitcoin. Right, we've only got a couple of them on. I think we've got what did we say we had? 3. I can't remember how many. There's only a couple of them anyway. We've got 1.42 Bitcoin sitting in the pool. So that's how many we've got in the pool at the moment, and it's currently 118,000. So if you want to buy parts of a Bitcoin on the old PulseChain, you can do it. Which is pretty cool. So I'm going to post that in the chat there. If you guys want, want to get some of this Bitcoin, there's a wrapped Bitcoin from Ethereum. So what am I going to call it? E-wrapped Bitcoin, E-wrapped Bitcoin, and I'll post the chart there. Bam, bam, bam. It is going to be a mega theme moving forward. So we're going to keep track of it, and how does it value on PulseChain? What is markets? And now we've got all these stable coins coming. It's going to be huge. So that is it on the old wrapped Bitcoin. So you can buy wrapped Bitcoin. Obviously, do your due diligence, all that good stuff. What else have we got on here? We've also got our 4 copies of wrapped Bitcoin. So we got the original wrapped Bitcoin, but we've also got 4 copies of wrapped Bitcoin as well. And here it is at the moment, $790, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. And of course, we read an article from Rack and Michelle talking about something we talked about a couple of years ago, which is if you just got one wrapped Bitcoin, that might be enough. It might do massive re-rate, massive convergence to the actual Bitcoin, which we just looked in the other chart, which is currently $790. If you just had one of them, there's only so many. Now, there's more wrapped Bitcoin than there is of the E-wrapped Bitcoin. There's only about 126,000 of those, which are custodial, and we've got a couple of them bridged over to PulseChain. But this one here is slightly more. There's about 155,000 of them. And it's currently sitting at 790, but I think it's quite centralized owned. It's centralized owned, the old P-wrapped Bitcoin, as we call it. And that is ticking away here right now. Now, the all-time high, of course, got up pretty high. It was on the weekly chart, by the way. Got up to $2,674. So we're on a tier all the way up there at the moment. So not bad. We can pull in an RSI as well and check that out. But at the moment, still plenty of room on the weekly, 58. Definitely hotter than Hex and other things, but definitely, and also, fairly high on the daily, but still room to move, 67. And on the 4 hour, have we got much room? we got a little bit of room. We've come back here. So, yeah, may get this even popping back over $800 again, heading towards that 850. So, yeah, you can pick up a good old P wrap Bitcoin over on PulseChain. So, there we go. P wrap the BTC. And that is available too. So this is the one that Rack and Michelle talked about, getting one, just like they say, used to go say get one Bitcoin. You can get one of these as well. Now these days, people are saying if you get 0.1 Bitcoin, we saw, I think it was it Eric Trump or someone like that, saying get 0.1 Bitcoin because they know how much stuff they're going to be pushing through crypto, right? And of course, that big genius build today with the getting signed with the trillions of dollars expected to come. $2 trillion is what Scott Bessent, the Treasury Secretary, has talked about, but forecast by 2030 of $3.2 trillion, which would be massive. And we saw today that it's currently worth $266 billion. So there's a massive re-rate in crypto going to be happening. And the multiplier, leverage effect, circulating capital is going to be massive on crypto. Crypto just got a massive, I was going to say something, but it's got a massive injection, let's say. So that is the Pulse Wrap Bitcoin. All right, so that's number two, and we got what else we got? We got let's go. We got Pump Tires Bitcoin. Yeah, you guys knew it. Pump Tires Bitcoin. We got that too, and we got something for everybody. So if you want Pump Tires, now remember Pump Tires. There's not part of 21 million Bitcoin or anything like that, or 155,000 Bitcoin. It is based on the billion, right? And obviously the Pump Tires site has typically has most of the holdings. I haven't checked the main holding here, but you can check that out. Anyway, it's had a nice little pump, and over the last a couple of weeks here, and it's now up at 0.002285. Not too bad. Low volumes relatively speaking, but sometimes this we got 15,000 volume on the 12th, so it has mixed bags. You can see the volumes down the bottom here, but that is where it is at the moment. And let's have a look on the weekly. There's the weekly chart here for the Pump Tires BTC, sitting at 0.0028 was the bottom, and we're basically 2x that almost, up at 0.002285. Market cap 228,000, 37k liquidity. And I thought I was going to sneeze there for a second. We got BTC 81 million in the pool. So if there's a billion, there's 8% in the pool right now. So there we go. That is Pump Tires. So I'll post the link to that in the chat there as well. What's it? Pump. What do I call it? Pump BTC. Pump BTC. And bam, and check it out. So this is going to be a mega theme, of course. This is like the ocean. Bitcoin is like the ocean. So we're going to check it out. How's PulseChain going to reprice stuff? And this is all part of what Richard Hart used to talk about. What is the shared perception and all that sort of stuff on terms of what is value. And obviously we have competing coins. We have more coins than ever. It's not like 2021, right? We have so many coins. Have we got Marco Marcello in the house there with the super sticker? Appreciate that. Shout out from the state of Texas. Yeah, boy. Boy. I appreciate that, Marco. Appreciate that out there. It's a fun day, so I appreciate that one. All right. Let's get into it. We'll leave it up for a little while. Let's leave a super sticker up for a while. Big shout out to everybody in Texas. That's how we rock and roll. All right, so that is the last one. Now we're going to get into Pulse Bitcoin. Now, as you guys know, Pulse Bitcoin there has been around for over 2 years now. And we've got both on PulseChain and on Ethereum. And of course, we know that there is a kind of a council of Bitcoin out there. And Fat Sammy is one of the leaders of it, but it's quite a big council of, quite a big few Pulse skins and Hex skins and things like that that are supporting it. And they're looking to make it a store of value. Yes, you heard it here, a store of value. So we're going to check that out. And let's see where Pulse is at the moment on this side. So this is the Pulse Bitcoin on PulseChain. And it's come off the bottom. Yeah, boy. So this is the weekly chart. You can see that it was down at 4400th of a penny. It's now at 1.5 cents. It's not a bad little re-rate. And you can see Fat Sammy. Fat Sammy's getting out everywhere, isn't he? Doing video shout-outs and what else is he doing? Lots of cool things. Super, click on the super sticker and I love the comment. How do you do that? You mean like that? Is that what you mean? Is that what you mean? I'm not actually on the YouTube, but let me have a look. Let me go. Let me have a look on the YouTube. I'm on the YouTube, but it's on a different screen, so it's not looking at the moment. It's my backup screen on another screen. Let's see. We got. We're going to go on. We're going to have a go. Give me a second. Give me a second. 1 moment. Brendan's always trying to sidetrack my show. He's good at doing it. Let's go. Let's go over here. And let's see what I can do. I got to mute. Got to mute there. Oh, there's the heart there. Nice. Okay, cool. I like it. Yeah, I've just done that. Thank you very much. So yeah, super stickers. You want to get some hearts? Splash out some super stickers on the chat there. What there? Don't know if you know that. Yeah, well, I just did it. I think it's on the YouTube side. Yeah, that's what I mean. That's why I never do it. That's so good. So good. I've done it now. You taught me something, Brennan. You taught me something. That was actually worth it. That sidetrack was actually worth it. I put a little art on it. But yeah, I'm not sure exactly what it does, but it's got a heart there. Nice. All right. Does it show up on the screen? I don't know if it does. It's still on the studio. Yeah, because it's kept feeding through on the studio, right? All right. Smash that like on the way in. It says Crypto Jacks. Absolutely smash that like as you can. All right. Let's jump away from that. And yeah, so this is the Pulse Bitcoin on. Now, the idea is that there's another token that goes with it called an ASIC token. You get the ASIC token, you can then use that to mine a Bitcoin. And it's just like a real Bitcoin. It's basically a digital version of the real Bitcoin. Instead of using physical ASIC miners, use a token ASIC miner, and you can mine Bitcoin there. Pulse Bitcoin has halvings and everything else, just like Bitcoin. And there will only ever be, 21 million as well. What's that, 19.8 million hex at the moment. I don't know how much a Pulse Bitcoin there is, but you can check it out. But it will, having the same sort of profile. So it's kind of a cool idea. And yeah, it's going to be a potential store of value from the old council of Pulse Bitcoin, led by, or at least one of the people leading it is Fat Sammy, and there's many other well-known people in it. So kind of cool. You can go hit them up in Pulse Bitcoin, find out who they all are, but they're in there. All right, so that's kind of cool. 1.5 cents. I'm just recharging my mouse right now. Once again, big shout out to Marco Marcello there for the super sticker. Appreciate that. Bam. We're down. Yeah, it's down 3.4% today, but not too bad with the old Pulse Bitcoin. We're going to look at the Ethereum side, of course. That's been really ramping up, so we're going to check that out. And I know that they're going to be doing a lot more attention on the Pulse Bitcoin side on PulseChain. So it's something they're working on moving forward. So keep a lookout for this chart, is all we can say. Get your ASIC token, start mining, I guess. So it's kind of cool. I think hopefully the mouse is recharged enough for me to proceed with the show. So that is kind of cool. Let me post that in the chat. So that is PLSB on PulseChain. And post that. Bam. There we go. Looking good, finger licking good. Was it Maha there? Make America Healthy Again. They're doing lots of changes on that front, aren't they? I saw some stuff around McDonald's, and of course, Coca-Cola as well. And of course, Coca-Cola. I think Coca-Cola's the worst. I know I know Coca-Cola is a fantastic drink. Obviously, one of the best there is, but it is so damaging. It is so utterly damaging. I was listening to a doctor and a neurosurgeon talking about Coke. They said one of the 5 things you shouldn't do in your life, and one of them, they actually specifically said Coca-Cola. Out of the 5 things, I couldn't believe it. Both of them on different interviews, and both of them said Coca-Cola. It is crazy, yeah. The problem is it's such a great drink, right? Especially in the summer and it's hot. Get a Coke. Those damn ads. All right, so there we go. But that is it at the moment. 1.5 cents on the old Pulse Bitcoin. Let's jump back, and we got the final one there on Ethereum, actually. So it's not even on PulseChain, but it's been performing very well. And these guys have been focused quite a bit on it. You can see the chart there. Let's go to the weekly first. And there's old Pulse Bitcoin on Ethereum. So they're both running on both chains. And you can see at the moment, it came off the bottom at 4,400 per penny, same as PulseChain, actually. Interesting. And this has really rallied much more aggressively. So it's been as high as 9 cents. Can you believe it? What a move that was, right? 9 cent move. So that's pretty cool. And that is, why is that not working? Let me have a look. I don't know. What that is that? That is 2200%. So it's a 23x, 23, maybe 24x there. Currently still up. 13x there at the moment. So keep a lookout for that. RSI definitely got overheated. It's chilling off right now on the weekly. On the daily, plenty of room to move. Probably a good chance of a reversal here because it's already come back quite a lot on the RSI. So keep a lookout for this price. Maybe the bounce is at 4.8 cents, currently at 4.3. So keep a lookout for that. It's got a lot of locked liquidity in there at the moment. It's pretty low volume on the moment, but that's probably a good move for a move higher there on the old Pulse Bitcoin, on the old Ethereum side. So what are we going to call that? PLSB on ETH. Yeah, that sounds good enough to me. All right, so bam, that is it there. So yeah, keep a lookout. They've got a massive Telegram group. I think they got like 3,000 or something like that, 4,000. That's pretty large for PulseChain. And also they've got a big X space on this week, I think, along with DeFi Nation, another big group in PulseChain, covering a lot of the projects coming up as well. On the Crypto Night Show, we'll be having our own one coming up next week as well on Wednesday. So keep a lookout for that. We'll be talking about that soon. Bam, bam, bam. So lots of stuff happening in the old DeFi space. That is Pulse Bitcoin, PLSB, on Ethereum. All right, so let's move out of there. And I think we've covered everything we wanted to cover there. We've covered the Richard Hart stuff. So Hex is on the move. It's kind of cool. We've been covering the Pulse Bitcoin story today. We've been doing that every sort of week. Kind of cool. Now we're going to jump away and we're going to get into another chain altogether. We're going to ETH chain and, of course, along with maybe Base chain, but we are over on Titan X. And of course, we have a lot of crossover influencers on Titan X. Some of them not streaming as much, but we've got Cryptographics, obviously the founder of Torus. We've got Brandon covering it as well. Myself, of course, I cover crossover influence on that. And there is Mo. Mo has come over from Titan X over to PulseChain. So there we are. Mo's come over. And then there's a couple others out there as well. Just can't think of them off the top of my head, but there's a few others. Was it Marco the Hexkin? Is that the one of them? Or one of the guys, maybe? All right, so let's jump into it. We got Titan X at the moment, had a nice little rally. Just a bit of a cool off. This is the main token, right? This is kind of the entry token into the whole Titan X ecosystem. It had a nice rally. It looks like it's rounded out a little bit there. Yeah, it has. But this is the price on the old US dollars. We can see that it was down at 6 zeros, 1100. Had a nice little rally up to 6 zeros, 2700. So it's another, 2.4x inside 23 days. So pretty good. And it's just taking a little bit of off the top at the moment. And of course, ETH is rallying, right? So Titan X is paired with ETH. And this is up 120%. So 2.2x in the last 25 days still. So still holding off there with a little bit of tapering as well. Let's bring up the RSI to see how overheated it was. And it was overheated. Look at that, way over 70, got all the way up to like 85, just coming back down to 73, but still in the slightly overbought area. So I don't know where we're going to get a pullback here, maybe to 2300 on that, but let's have a look for 4 hourly coming back to the 50. So definitely cooling off here. And what else? We got the weekly. The weekly's got heaps of room, right? We all know that. Weekly, yeah, look at that. It's only down at 42. And of course, if we log that, you can see we've got a lot of room to move on the old Titan X chart there. But it is moving on the backwards, on back up, and of course on the back of Ethereum as well. But of course, it's got this big buy and burn, and it is massive right now. We're going to check that out because it is massive. This has got the Ethereum and the Ethereum ratio there. Let's go to the daily. And this is the one you really look importantly because you're saying how is Titan X performing against Ethereum as a leverage. And of course, it's come back even harder on the old ETH ratio. So it was down here, down at 10 zeros, 5,000. It's now at 10 zeros, 7,000. But recently it peaked out over here at 10 zeros, 8,800. So that was a real nice move from 5,000 to 8,800. It wants to lose a zero though. So to lose a zero, it needs to get up here, right? So it needs to... Where's the zero there? It needs to get up to here to lose a zero. That'd be a very bullish sign, but of course, resistance as well. And then, of course, getting over this previous local high of 1,200. But man, once it does, it's going to probably do something like this. So this is probably what it's going to, have something like this happen over here. Let's do a circle this time. So actually, a circle is probably not the best one to do, but let's move to it's a bit too nuclear, but something like this here. So we're going to do colors. We're going to do colors because we like colors. So let's do some yellow, and we might flip it around this time, do an orange. So how about that? So it might be something like that. It's not right now, but it might do something like that in the near future. So keep a lookout for that. So that's Titan X, and we're going to look at the buy and burn because obviously Ethereum is going up, so the magic carpet ride is getting more valuable, right? but so is the Titan-X reserve. It has its own strategic reserve. I'm not sure if I think they're going to try and put the Titan-X and Dragon-X reserve on the strategic reserve. I don't think it's on there at the moment. But let's have a look at the buy and burn, and we're going to V1. Yeah, $15.7 million. Let's add up. We're going to do some magic math, since we're going to be talking about magic. I don't know. I guess we are. 15.7 million mucho grandes. That is the current. It was over 16 million yesterday, by the way. So that is pretty cool. We got the payouts. Let's not forget the payout is sitting in there with ETH as well. That's sitting at 3.9 million. So we're going to add that up. Plus 3.9 million. And now we're at 19.6 million of ETH sitting inside Titan-X. 19, all to push Titan-X up. So kind of cool. The supply stats, liquid. We're sitting at 68.2 trillion. Now, this actually went close to 68 the other day, and this is being driven by Torus, right? Torus is going on and getting demand for Titan-X, and also burning some, buying in it as well for Torus, and burning Torus, and that is just under 17 million at the moment. So pretty almost a similar number to the almost probably 1.2 million higher than the actual buy and burn V1, but it's still pretty close, which is pretty crazy. So we're going to keep that up actually. And then of course we've got Dragon-X. Dragon-X has its own buy and burn DAO. It hasn't been showing up for some reason. I'm not sure what's wrong with the UI. Yeah, so I don't know why. I think you might have to be logged on. Maybe that's the problem. But that's got I'm guessing that's got 4 million in it. So I'm going to just say 4 million. Bear with me. It's probably maybe higher, but we're going to say 4 million. So that takes us to 23.6 million at the moment in the ecosystem. So bam, and then we've got what else? We got Hydra at the moment. So Hydra's got a buy and burn in it, so we're going to add that up too. It's buy and burn day today. Buy and burn. I thought Brennan would know off the things. We've got $1.2 million in there, so we're going to take that. So plus 1.2 million. So now we're up to 25 million in the buy and burns on the Titan-X ecosystem. And I don't think Hyper has anything left in it. Let me have a look, but I don't think it does. I'm not talking about, now one of these has a payout, so it does have a payout. So yeah, there's not the Vortex. No, there's nothing in there. So we've got payouts. Yeah, there's a little bit of payout in there, but not one that we're caring about. So that is at $25 million sitting in behind Titan-X. And that chart there, just having a little breather at the moment, but we're expecting some pretty mighty things from that as well. All right. What else are we going to say about that? I think that's it. Helios has got a little bit in the buy and burn too. We might as well have a quick look at Helios. Good, big shout out to the dude out there. And I guess we go to Treasury, is it? Or governance, one of the two. Treasury or governance. Just having a look at some of these. We've kind of already included that's payout because it's in this 888 day. It's got a little bit, there's a little bit of money in here. 50, 60,000, 70,000, maybe a bit more, 80,000 if you add it all up. So that's kind of cool. Let's jump away. So that is some of the cool stuff, but we're going to scroll right down. I don't think anything's particularly standing out today. Yeah, Helios is up 24%. So it's a standout today. And what else is looking pretty interesting? Turbo up 23%. And that's it. So we're going to get into Torus, right? Torus, where's that Torus on the list? Number 16. And it's just having a little pullback in the price chart. So let's have a quick look at the price first. The price chart, bam, is on Torus. Had a beautiful rally. We've got a couple of comments in the chat there, so let's go to some of those. We've got Q-Baller in the house there. Morning all. Good to see a Q-Baller. Big shout out. TJ's in the house. I like the rockets there. A cool little thumbnail you got there as well. And Brendan says, Torus ROI looks amazing. It does indeed. Looks amazing. That's deserving. Of a magical twinkle. Magical twinkle there. All right. So, yeah, this is currently, so we're just getting a little bit of rollover in the price. So if you thought the Torus price was invincible, it certainly is pretty strong. But, a little bit of profit taking going at the moment with the, bit of a pullback generally in the market as well. But that is the 15-minute chart. And we have managed to get up to a high of $12. We got the $12.12, and we're now at $10.14. And of course, that is on the hourly chart. So really started to roll over. This last two little rollovers there, and face some resistance here. So that was kind of your I guess your tell that was rolling over. Now I think it can only roll over so much unless there's a cascade selling, and that means there's not much supply around. So even with not much supply around, even though you get a negative selling rollover, you can get people selling down, down, and down, right? And they're all in the money. So can go down. So there we go. Lessons learned there. Lessons learned. But at the moment, $10.14 is still looking very, very good indeed. That's the 4 hourly chart, and then the daily. That is the daily chart there as well. We might actually on the 4 hourly. I don't know if we have. Let's get the RSI out and see if we what time frame we've got an RSI on now. Yeah, the RSI come back down to 50 here, so we might get some good defense at $10. $10 seems like a pretty good place to defend with the old RSI at 50. So yeah, let's see if it can hold at $10. $10 there at the moment. It's certainly got all the people going in. I think the demand's a little bit lighter than it was in the first week, but we probably get a little dip and then a bit of a rally. It may very well happen there. Because the protocol is the bomb. It's doing some amazing stuff. So that is pretty much it on the chart. Let's jump over to Torus itself and have a look at the stats. So look at that, bam, and we've still got in the payout pool $1 million. As long as it's over $10, right? It's going to be $1 million. The payout now, remember it's day one. It started off at 100,000 in the daily payout pool. That's 100,000 Torus. And of course, that gets shared between the creators or miners. Miners is kind of a very blunt term for it because it is a different model of tokenomics. So we got the miners, and we also have the stakers, right? So they share in this pool, 99,361. So it started off at 100,000 a week ago. Day one, now 9 days later, we're down at 99,361. So it is slowly going down the reward pool every day, right? Every day it goes down a little bit. We're currently on day 9, 7 hours into day 9. So we've basically just been around for 8 days. That's not a long time, as we can all appreciate. And the market price there just taking a little bit of ease off there at $10. So we're going to keep a lookout for that. So kind of cool. Beautiful site, of course. This is from Cryptographics, one of the big influencers in PulseChain and obviously in Titanx. And he has moved into being a founder and developer. And I really think that the two key takeaways for this protocol is firstly the more people that stake and the more people that create Torus tokens, and as we ramp forward and move forward in time, the more people that come in will get a share of the total Torus pool expected, right? So currently there's about 9.4 million tokens. Obviously, we're adding to that every day. Today is going to add another 99,361. The more people that either create or stake, they get shares, right? Shares in the payout pool. And so that means that all that 9.4 million will get distributed amongst more and more people. So imagine today, day 8, there's 100 people, but imagine there is 2,000 people by the time we get to day 88. So obviously there's another 22 times more people, and so the payouts are going to drop dramatically, right? Dramatically, and get spread out amongst everybody. But of course, that may very well help keep the price up as well. And of course, people will also be able to stake that again and again and again. And we're going to see how that plays out with the yields versus the price, and of course, all the capture of value. So we're going to see how all it goes. So yeah, two main key things. This has got a massive inflation distribution model, very different to what we've seen before. And that means that everybody comes in after you that actually distributes that inflation, as opposed to locking in the inflation today. So, whales might come in today under Titanx, for example, lock in massive amount of Titanx. And of course, that people coming in after that really isn't going to affect that too much. Whereas now with this, if people coming after you, then your yield that you get is going to go down, relatively speaking, right? And at a faster rate. Now, between day 7 and day 8, that slowed down. So it was actually going up because more people were coming in, but it has actually slowed down a little bit there on day 7 to day 8, which is pretty interesting in terms of the decrease that you're getting because of people coming in. Slowed down a little bit there, but if it ramps up again, then that can all go the other way, right? So we increase the redistribution of that Torus value that's coming out. Like I say, it's just less than 100,000 a day now, and currently forecast, day 95, I think it is, in the future is like 9.4 million, something like that. So that is the play. And now that I've recharged my mouse again, I really got to deal with this mouse issue. But that is the play there. Let's look at some of the other metrics. 29% is now staked, which I think has been a really, really exciting thing. People have been buying off that market and pushing the price up and staking. And then we've got 4.2% burned. And then we've had 13.4% as in liquid supply, so not a big liquid supply. And of course, we've got the supply and LP 53% there as well. Moving to the total supply. The supply is only 19,500. You got to remember, 9 days ago, we started at 20,000. And we've only had a couple of little days early on, like day 3 and stuff like that. I think we had a little bit of tokens come out. So we've basically had no new inflation hit the market, and we've had 810 burns. So we've only had about 310 tokens come out in all the last 9 days, or 8 days and 7 hours. And so that's not much at all. We're not expecting much for a few weeks ahead. Really, day 16, I think day 17, we've got a little bit coming out. But we're only on day 9, sorry. So we've got quite a bit of time where there's not much inflation coming out as well. And of course, we've got the buy and burn is actually burning a little bit off the market as we move forward. So it is absorbing a little bit of any market sell that does happen. So yeah, pretty interesting. Now, total shares hardly went up yesterday. I think where I was looking at 1.7 billion yesterday, it is only at 1.77 billion today. So not really big movements there. And like I say, the benefit of this protocol also is that it's burning Titanex, and it's burned a very exciting number. 125.6 billion Titanex has been burned. So it's really been helping get rid of Titanex as well, the underlying coin, which this is leveraging off, right? So pretty exciting. The buy and burn is staggering. So as people go in, it's capturing all that value and putting it into a treasury, basically, and it's used for a buy and burn in particular. Look at that. So what do we got? Look at 285,000 US dollars now sitting in the buy and burn. We got the buy and build. This is building liquidity. So it's fattening up that liquidity, making the pool much healthier, more sustainable, and more wealthier kind of project, and dampening down to some degree the any sales and things like that. That is also looking pretty cool. We are sitting just over 200,000. So that is fantastic. So looking really good. And then we've got the Fractal, right? Fractal is going to be putting more money into the buy and burn. So this buy and burn here on day 110. We're only on day number 9 right now. So it's still over 101 days ago, just like 101 Dalmatians. I got 101 days to go. And this has got another $131,000 in it. And we're only on day 9, early part of day 9. So imagine what we're like in 30 days time, 60 days time. This thing's going to just keep filling up. And we don't really have a lot of inflation, at least for 40 days, so that's going to be really interesting there. All right, so and of course the yields, people are creating at the moment. The yields at the moment 17,000%. They've been up like 20,000%. And of course, more people that come in after you is one of the key metrics, a very powerful metric for lowering their ROI. But of course, if people come in on the stake, they push the price up, they keep the ROI up as well. So you've got all these mechanics, fighting. But really, the shares are really key there. To get the longer shares is the better, right? We've seen a lot of people go long. As the tokenomics direct staking, this has kind of been a good surprise and helped push the price up. And of course, a lot of people going in for the short staking period has different mechanisms. You obviously get shares. You have to pay 5% extra as a premium to get in, and the rate ROI is a bit lower. But you have the flexibility that you can early end, I think 50% the way through. And so forth. So I think if you go 75% of your staking term, you get 50% of your rewards. So you don't lose your principal from that point of view, but you get 75% of the rewards at 75% the way through. So there's a bit of a tokenomics there. So it gives flexibility, and people can game that, right? People can game staking if they want, or they can just max benefit there. If the price comes down, of course, on the Torus down to, I think it's like 10 million on the ratio to Titanex, just above that because it's changing every day. Then obviously the ROIs would flip from creating Torus to staking Torus. So people will less create Torus to then move to stake Torus for the yields because they'll be better off there. So that's a sort of a pivot point. Another key part of the tokenomics, not just the inflation distribution about people coming in after you, getting more shares and sharing that reward pool amongst more shares, but also the flippening of creating to staking if the ratio to Titanex drops below, let's say circa 10 million there. So that's kind of some of the key parts there. So yeah, that is the play. Let's go and have a look at some of the key metrics. This is from Mike Dean. How are we doing for time? An hour and 9 minutes. We're doing pretty well actually with the time there. So let's have a look at this. What did I talk about? I've talked about crypto, Bitcoin, Ethereum, PulseChain, Hex, and Torus, and we've also Bitcoin as well, Pulse Bitcoin in particular. We're looking at this latest information actually an hour ago. $788 million $788,000 has come into the protocol in 8 days and 7 hours. So it's doing very well indeed, not far away from $1 million. We got 54.27 ETH deposited. This number here is always slightly lower than what's actually gone in. So it's got 2.29 trillion Titanx, which is fantastic. But it's actually higher, right? So it's actually higher. So let's go have a look. 2.42. So it's quite a difference in that number. I'm not quite sure what's driving the difference there, but it's out by over 100 billion tokens there. So 2.42 trillion has gone into Torus now, which is pretty exciting. In terms of Titanx locked, it makes Torus number 2 on the success list there. Pretty awesome. And of course, if we looked at the total Titanx, it is sitting at a number 6 there after flipping Vault and Helios there. So yeah, long way to go to get the hyper. But look, we get a bit of a runaway on Torus. This thing's all get closer and closer there, right? And these yields are pretty spectacular. So the more people that hear about them, the more people are likely to participate. So that's the stats there. Let's quickly look at a few more. 9.5 million is the future supply. Remember, everybody that comes in after you, that gets redistributed amongst more and more people. So this chart here, it gets reallocated to more and more people, flattening out the big holders per, from that point of view, with the amount of tokens they have. It's going to be an interesting mechanic, and of course, the idea is that people will go into staking a lot more. So we're going to watch out for that. Still yet to be proven, but the tokenomics are pretty clever in that direction, which is pretty exciting to see. The frontier of DeFi really is Torus, really is on the frontier there. So yeah, daily Torus locks, you can see that there at the moment. This has come down, right? This big candle here used to be over 4 million. I think it was 4.3 million, is now down at 2.669. It's going down every day. And so what we're seeing, this is going down, down, down. All these candles will get flatter the more people that come in. And so they'll all be going down. And even though we're getting 100, just under 100,000 more tokens every day, and it's going down, of course, by 0.08%, this is going to be moving forward in time, and this is going to get flatter and flatter and flatter. So it's going to be pretty interesting. And therefore, it's not going to look like the old Titanx giant castles, like it sort of does at the moment, but it's just going to get flatter and flatter. And that's going to be part of the interesting, that is a key part of the tokenomics. So if you're wondering what is special about Torus, really is this mechanism of sharing that reward pool amongst more and more people with more shares, and therefore flattening out the distribution as we move forward. And so yeah, that is kind of cool, looking good there. You can actually see we don't actually have a lot of inflation coming out until day like 16 and day 17. We've got like 45, 183. Day 18, 80, 482. So day 18 is the first time we're really going to get anything kind of half decent, which is 482. And of course that, it might impact the price. We'll see where the price is, and depending on how many people are coming in to buy and stake and things like that. And then day 19. So we're not really getting too much there. The first time we get over 2,000 is day 27. So, let's take that into account. And I think I said day 40, wasn't it? Was before we really get to, it's not even on this page. Day 40. Guys, remember we had 20,000 when we started. So yes, day 44 by the time we get to double the initial supplies. We had 20,000 when we start. We got 19,500 now. The first time before we even get close to doubling the supply is day 44, and we're only to start day 9. So you get the math. It's going to be interesting as we move forward as well. And of course, the buy and burn's really low at the moment. So if that gets ramped up, that absorbs more as well. And of course, the question is, people are going to recycle. They go back in staking, recycle that as well, or they're going to sell into the market and trying to do some magic stuff there with the old creation as well, because the yields are so much higher. So we're going to get a bit of volatility as we move forward with bigger supply. So it's going to be interesting. All right, let's jump down the bottom there. We've got 874 creations so far. So we're heading towards 1,000. So obviously if that starts ramping up, that's the key thing for that inflation reallocation, right? Because it issues more shares. Keep a lookout for that, and also staking as well. So these are key metrics here that we're going to be looking at. Those 9 hours old, so it's a bit higher than that. It may have got over 900 even. This is the key chart, right? This is the key chart here, because what we're trying to see is what is the demand going into the system. We can see it really kind of flattened out there with 66, 67 creations per day. What we want to see for this is what we're kind of expecting with the yields is, and of course it depends on the promotion and network effect and word of mouth and all that. As well as just the huge yields that people can potentially get, is to get this going up, right? These numbers going up. And so that's going to be huge. So, yep, we'll keep a lookout for that. That is a pretty pivotal chart there as we move forward. We've obviously got the staking chart as well. That's also going to be very key for the buying side of the chart and for new supply when it comes out. that each people are actually buying on a market and doing that staking strategy. They may have switched over the creation, so that's also another thing we may see, right? So yeah, that is kind of where we are with some of the key metrics. Not many liquid holders, but like I say, it doesn't take much at a certain price for people to sell, especially when they're all in the money, or at least a good amount of them are all in the money. So that is pretty much it on the old Torus. That leads us into about an hour and 15 minutes, which is pretty good. I think it's a good place to finish. Good place to finish up. Who else has jumped in here? We got Fat Sammy in the house there. Hi, Fat Sammy. Big shout out there. Yeah, we are just talking about Pulse Bitcoin earlier, so check out that segment. Big shout out to Fat Sammy and the Council of Pulse Bitcoin. Rocking the house there. Matt and Bali in the house there. Hi, all. Good to see you, Matt. Hope you're doing well also. Big shout out. Big shout out. Pump my bags, says Matt. Pump my bags. Well, you can thank the President Donald Trump for that, because he's just signed that he's just signed that big Genesis bill with the Genius bill, I should say, with the massive trillions of stable coins coming in backed by the US dollar. That's pretty much basically crypto is now backed by the US government. It's pretty awesome, right? How we went from Biden, who wasn't even using AutoPen, from who was running that place. You realize that all those Democrats that were running the AutoPen and running the US government were unbelievably undermining democracy in the United States, the form of democracy that Americans had. So it is unbelievable. You think about that, how treacherous that is, how traitorous that is. I'm hoping that they actually hold people to account, because that is basically a coup on America. That is a basic coup on America. It's pretty bad. Now, we also get that in the state departments, right? So we have that here in New Zealand. Our complete whole state, all our departments are completely infested. They're infested. It's a horrible place, and they're all putting their own regime into power and undermining democracy and the will of the people. It's unbelievable what they get away with. So but Trump's in there shaking things up. We don't have a Trump here, unfortunately, but if we did, we'd be in a lot better place as well. Matt says that bill, I think, is surely helping us PDI to $1, not affected by the rules anymore. We make our own. Yeah. Well, a lot of stable coins outside the US will be, anyone can do DeFi coins and they won't be regulated. And so, yeah, I guess if you're an American, it might have some legal issues potentially, but for everybody else, nah. As long as, depending on the country you're in, of course, there's always some rules there and there. But DeFi coins anyone can make up algorithmic coins or whatever. But yeah. Coast obviously is backed by stable coins, so the Coast is looking good, but they're not going to. I think the rules that you have to be regulated, you have to have 50 billion. I think was the minimum there, Matt. I think it was 50 billion, and that's Tether and Circle and a few others. Not many at that level, right? Kind of cool. I think all the liquidity forks is about 35, 40 liquidity forks. They're all free, and of course, as we mentioned earlier, 4 out of the top 10 of the liquidity forks are on PulseChain. So yeah, bring it on. We can't wait for PUSD ALGO to launch. Come on, Jacob. Come on, Jacob. Let's get stuff launched. The bull market is here. The altcoin season is upon us. We are just at the beginning. It's right there. As soon as that Bitcoin, man, the other day, this is when Torus launched. Torus launched exactly on the day that people will remember, and that was when Bitcoin punched all the way through to, was it 118 to 223,000? That was such a critical day. And now what we only saw a couple of days later after that, of course, with Ethereum really starting to run. And the game is on now. Here's my message today. Stay focused on the real stuff. Don't be distracted with all the little stuff that's been around, keeping you biding your time. Be focused. Make sure you got the best quality stuff in crypto that is going to do very well, and continue to accumulate the best stuff. Don't play around on silly stuff anymore. Even with little stuff, and get serious. If you want the big X's, we are on the footsteps of the greatest era in crypto and the US economy that we've ever going to see, ever. Honestly, I'd be very surprised if we ever have a president again like Donald J. Trump, and politics will come back into it. I think the next 2 years is going to be the golden age for sure. There's only one thing I can think of that could upset it, and that's the Chinese-Taiwan issue, if that's scaled up, But apart from that, I think Trump's trying to play both sides, and I think he's doing a pretty good job of it at the moment. So we will see. But I think the next 2 years in particular for the stock market, crypto market, commodities, is going to be absolutely massive. So yeah, enjoy. Make sure you got the right stuff. Stay focused. The main thing. Keep control of your emotions, and keep track of your portfolio. All that good stuff. Have some bit of a diversification, but in the right stuff. So that's my little tip for today. So I hope you guys enjoy the bull market, and then hopefully nobody. Remember, you got one job. Once you make some pretty good capital, and it's life-changing stuff, remember to take profits. Don't ride the market down the other side. And that will probably, at least a year out from the end of Trump's term, we may see some, issues there. Not because the economy is not booming, but because there'll be a change of leadership, right? And that will be the threat. We'll see. So next 2 years, definitely looking pretty hot. All right. On that note, I might as well play out our cool video that we've been playing for some time, and let's play that out. Good old Raoul Paul there. All right. Bye for now. Take care. Catch you on the next show tomorrow.
Not a mystery. It is a repeat of the debt cycle. They are rolling the debts. They are doing the same thing each cycle. It's not to do with a halving cycle, nothing to do with any of that. It's all driven by liquidity cycle and funding of debts. Each phase, we get phase 1 of the banana zone, banana number 1. The corrective zone, banana number 2 comes. Another correction, banana number 3. So this is the banana zone. So that's what happened in 2020, 2021. Off we go. Sorry, that was 2017, which again looks very similar to this one. That was the last one. Here we are now. It can't be clearer to me. I've shown you the macro evidence, the technical evidence, the sentiment evidence. Everything here suggests to me that hold on to your hats. Don't fuck this up. Don't lose control of your tokens. Don't use leverage. Don't get your wallet hacked. Just sit with it. Be careful. Don't get FOMO. Do all of the right things, and we'll go up to the next phase of the correction zone. That's going to be harder, because the next one that happens, we'll have a 35% drop, and you'll all say, is it over? And you'll definitely be sure it's over, and everybody on Twitter will tell you it's over, and it won't be over. By our work, we suggest that because of the elongation of the business cycle, because rates were higher for longer, the forward-looking liquidity suggests that, again, probabilistically speaking, without any guarantees, this whole thing goes into Q1, maybe Q2 of 2026, which would align with Trump's, trying to win the midterms as well. So everything's lined up for us. I think it started. So keep the faith, keep building stuff, and let's keep driving Siri forward with all of this. Thank you.
You could get a God candle at any moment. You could get a giant green candle at any moment, because it's easier to get them, because it takes less economic energy, because there's less of it for sale.